This episode, I'm going to be working on a Chinese-made Zebco 33, which I got for $4 with this halfway decent, but cheap Shakespeare Synergy rod. And I usually don't buy Chinese-made Zebcos, but for $4 for this outfit, I couldn't pass it up, and might as well continue on with collecting the 33s, and even if it is China made. I don't know if I'll buy a bunch of them, but if I see them for $4, I'm going to get them. At any rate, this thing is kind of tight, and the button and release isn't working very well, and so when I saw this, I took the cap off the thing, and you can see, I think, there that there's line going up into the spinner head. So that's going to be really easy to fix. And then it's just a matter of, look at there. Somebody didn't know when to stop winding. Good God. You know, at what point do you stop and check things out before you continue just grinding away? Good Lord. So I'll get that cleaned out, and then we'll continue on with the service of this China-made Zebco 33. Okay, let's go ahead and get started on the service of this China-made Zebco 33. And when it comes to the China-made ones, I think Zebco started moving production over there, I think sometime in the early 2000s, maybe it was 2004, and I don't have access to any. I don't even know if they made catalogs for that period of time, but I don't have access to any of them, and so I don't know a whole lot about trying to get dates on these, and I'm not sure that I really care, given the fact that they're made in China. But they work okay, but not something I spend a lot of time seeking out. Okay, so you have a keyed washer with one ear on there, and then kind of a rubber-like washer. I don't know what that's made out of. Well, I assume there's nothing. Well, okay, here we go. This is not part of the spool, so that makes a little more sense. Looks like there was some kind of a ring down there, drag ring, and then this. That doesn't make sense. Seems like this would have to go down first. But at minimum, you've got a keyed washer, you've got whatever kind of dark colored Teflon or whatever that is, and then your spool, and then another Teflon like one, and then another keyed washer, then I think that one, and then that, but I'll have to double check that lineup. And so I'll put the spool in the parts tray, and oh yeah, this was one with the, it's better to use a coin on these. So you can, I think on these you can have left or right hand retrieve. Okay, so in one direction it looks like you have anti-reverse, and the other you don't have anti-reverse, but you got a bait clicker. Okay. Looks like we have a clip here we've got to remove. I don't think I've ever worked on a China-made reel. Not positive. There's where your little... Kind of surprised that fell out. Okay, I guess it's, yeah, okay, it's not threaded. So we can take that out, and that's your drag adjustment and gear. And getting this out, let's see here. Does that bushing come all the way out? Guess it really should. Yeah. So you got a plastic bushing there and plastic bushing there, and that ought to allow us to carefully sneak out this main gear without monkeying up too much before we figure out what's going on. The anti-reverse and bait clicker and so on. That confounded thing. Okay, and we have to be careful because there's a little tiny, at least one little shim washer on that main gear there. So be careful not to lose that. And it looks like my bearing's gonna pop right out of there. And that looks like it's turning okay. So that is about all there is to disassembly on the this Chinese-made Zebco 33. I'll leave that there. And so, we're ready to take these parts over to the sink and scrub them with a toothbrush and some Dawn dishwashing liquid and some hot water, and in some cases WD-40. Get those all cleaned up, and I'll be back just like that. Okay, so now we can set all our parts out here so you can get a look at what all's there. Okay, let's start putting this thing back together. So these 3 bushings, these plastic ones, all look like the same part. So one goes on either side of the main gear shaft, and the other one goes up here in the up near well, on the end of the spool shaft there. So let me get that out of there for now. So I guess we'll start by installing the main gear, and this little tab, or this little plastic bar, or whatever you want to call that there, that has to go into, that has to fit into this notch right there on the anti-reverse pawl. So we can try to winkle that thing in there and get it around that darn bait clicker. And then I'm going to put that bearing in first. This bait clicker is a pain in the arse. There's their little shim washers. Looks like there's now at least 2. So there's 2 of these little shim washers, and they are thin. That go on that main gear shaft. I probably should just to make it easier for the next person, maybe, hopefully, to get out, I don't know if maybe it won't make it easier, but I'm gonna grease that outside of that bearing before I put it back in there. Okay, and we can probably go, I think we can go ahead and oil our pinion gear and put that in, and then we can start getting this back in there. Get out of there. Now we can oil the main gear shaft and slink our bushings into place. And put our little clip back into place. And lock all that into place. Now just check our, go ahead and just kind of put our handle on. So the bait clicker's on, the anti-reverse is not. Click the anti-reverse on, no clicker, but we've got anti-reverse. Okay, now we're ready to grease the the gears. So I'm just gonna put a coat of grease on there. even though that's sort of if you spin that main bearing around as you grease it, it sort of greases the pinion. I'll go ahead and add a little bit there as well, and work that in. And you could put a little grease on the cogs of the anti-reverse too. It's running pretty quiet, but sometimes that can quiet it down a little bit. And let's see here. I'm going to get our drag lever back in, and if you look at the gear for that, okay, there's sort of a key on the back side, which means that has to key, or fit into that. So that keyed portion of the drag knob is going to go in such that it's facing the front of the reel, and then this slides in and it kind of turns in there until it drops into that key. And I'm just trying to see, go ahead and run our crankshaft back through there, and start working that back on. Okay, now I was able to find, I guess we can go ahead and put this rear cover back on, just a little bit of glob of oil right there, just to reduce the friction on there. So we line the tab, or that little punch out, with the groove, and then make a clockwise twist. And I was able to find a schematic. It's not of this version of the 33, but a China version that was similar, and it does appear that this goes in first, this non-keyed washer slips in. I think when I was trying to figure it out during disassembly, I had the this toothed drag plate upside down, but if it's in right, this will fit right into that pressure plate, or the tooth plate there. And I think I've got it set. Yes, I've got it at the lowest drag, and then this is pushing it up as you go, and that's creating your drag. So I'm going to put it back to its lowest setting. And then we had a keyed washer, and there's only one ear on it, so you just find the one channel for it, slide that on. Then you've got one of these gray, I assume Teflon drag washers, and then we should probably put a little light grease. Where is it? Oh, on the spool shaft. Oh, and we got to get that other bushing in there too. Yeah, that plastic bushing. And now we can put our spool on. Bait clicker sounds really nice on this. Then we're ready for our second Teflon washer and our final keyed washer, again fitting it into that little notch. And that should all smash down, because I have it on the lowest drag setting, nicely, so that we can get and this slot on the shaft doesn't go all the way around, so you do have to get the E-clip has to either go in that way or that way. It won't go on just any way. It only goes on two ways. And you snap that back in. And then we've got to lubricate just cleaning up a little bit of debris in there that didn't come out in the sink. Now, I should show you a close-up of this so you can see how the springs, my spring had come off, and so it fits underneath here, under this little tab, goes around this post and rests up here against that thing there. So you can see it has two pickup pins. So the spring goes underneath this little punch out around that post and then up against this part of the pickup pin. So we'll put a little bit of lubricant on the pivot point and where the apparatus touches the surface of the spinner head. Work that in, and then this just fits on by I'm pushing in the button and then just screwing it on. And you can tighten it. You don't have to tighten it terribly, but hold on to the handle and just firm it up there a little bit. So that's working nicely now. So again, like the rear cap, you find your little punch, line it up with the channel there, and of course the logo facing up, the drain hole facing down, slight clockwise twist, and the final wipe down, and there you have it, a China made. One of the earlier China made, probably 2002, 3, 4, somewhere in there. Maybe 2004 or 5. I don't know. But there it is. It was a cheap one, $4 with a rod. So I figured, well, I'm not going to pass that up. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.